This short video is designed to help you understand how CTE standards can help your students and also how they can help you in your planning. The California Career Technical Education Model Curriculum Standards, grades 7 through 12, was adopted by the State Board of Education in 2005. The purpose of these standards is to provide educators with rigorous balance standards and to target the essential knowledge students will need in order to transition to either careers or post-secondary education. It's also designed to outline the specific skills required for each of the state's 58 career pathways. The frameworks are more commonly referred to as the Career Technical Education's Framework for California Public Schools. They were designed by a combination of educational institutions and representatives of business, labor, and industry. So how do we navigate the standards? The frameworks contain the formal standard language, however, they also provide us with valuable information that supports us in transitioning from the standards into classroom objectives and activities. So let's take a quick look at the frameworks and find the information that will help you as you're designing your curriculum, pacing guide, and projects for your course. On our Haiku page in Module 4, you'll find a link to the frameworks. When you click on that link, a PDF file will come up, and this is what it will look like. On the left-hand side, you'll see quite a bit of information, but what we want to direct you to is here where it says Part 2 Industry Sectors. When we click on that link, it will take us to specific information about industry sectors. We are provided with a list of the industry sectors as well as their abbreviations. As we continue to scroll, we're going to find information about each and every one of these industry sectors. We're going to use agriculture and natural resources industries as our example. So for each and every industry sector, pathways are listed, in this case agricultural business, mechanics, etc., etc. So let's look into one of these, agricultural business. What you'll notice is it starts with a sample sequence of courses. So these would be a listing of generally the courses that would be offered at your site for students to follow the agricultural business pathway. You then find for this foundation standards. These are the standards written in the more technical educational language, but let's keep going. As we continue to scroll under this pathway, we find very specific pathway standards. This is to help support us as to what we need to teach specifically in our agribusiness course. If we still continue, we begin to look at more and more specific information to support us. So notice, here's one of the standards, here's a piece of the standard, and here are some questions on the left-hand side. What do students need to know and at what level? Here is an outline of the concepts that students need to know, along with what are called benchmarks, or very specific topics, ideas, understandings, or skills that students will need to demonstrate. We continue. Here are specifically skills underneath concepts. Here are topics, what must be taught. Here's a sample performance task. This could be something that supports us very much as we're looking at project-based learning, projects we would like students to participate in. So here's the standard, here's a continuation of the standard, and we're going to continue again. Here are very specific assignments that we can consider offering or preparing for our students. So we've taken the standard, we've looked at categories of concepts and skills, and now here are some specific assignments. In addition, there's a performance task rubric. Do we have to use these examples and rubrics? Absolutely not. Do they help us get started in understanding the standards and what we can ask students to know and be able to do? Yes. As we continue on, we're looking now at the sample of pathway occupations for this specific pathway. We're now going to move into agricultural mechanics. We won't go through that particular one, but let's take a look for just a second. So let's summarize. What can I find in the frameworks? A sample of the foundational standards for your pathway, sample pathway standards, samples of how to approach the standards based on the concepts and skills we expect students to know and be able to do, a sample performance task, and a sample rubric for a performance task. It is said that a picture is worth 1,000 words. The frameworks are designed to support you as you take a look at that picture and determine how you can approach designing your curriculum to meet those foundational standards. Again, a link to the frameworks can be found on our haiku page within Module 4. Please locate your industry sector for your course and see what you can find.